"You're not qualified to work here," my uncle said, rejecting my application, family or not. "Today, as their biggest client, I'm canceling our $50 million contract. Let's see who's qualified now." The result was the Mason family's annual board meeting was always a spectacle of power and pretension, held in the top-floor conference room of Mason Technologies headquarters. 5 years ago, I'd stood in this same room, fresh MBA in hand, watching my Uncle Harold shred my job application. Today, I was back, not as Sarah Mason, the rejected niece, but as the mysterious head of SM Industries, their largest client, responsible for nearly $50 million in annual contracts. They just didn't know it yet. "The quarterly numbers are strong," my cousin Peter announced, clicking through his PowerPoint presentation. "Thanks largely to our biggest account, SM Industries." I hid my smile behind my coffee cup, remembering Peter's words from 5 years ago. "Come on, Sarah. Did you really think you were qualified to work here? Leave the real business to people who understand it." Uncle Harold nodded approvingly at his son. "Excellent work, Peter. This is why we keep business in the capable hands of the family." Capable hands. I glanced at my tablet, reviewing the real numbers my inside sources had provided. Peter had been cooking the books for months, hiding losses, inflating profits. The only thing keeping Mason Technologies afloat was my company's contracts. "Ms. Morgan," Harold's assistant touched my arm. "The board is ready for your presentation." I stood, smoothing my Armani suit, a far cry from the modest outfit I'd worn to my job interview years ago. Back then, Uncle Harold had said I didn't present the right image for Mason Technologies. "Sarah." Peter's voice carried across the room as I walked to the podium. "What are you doing here? This is a closed meeting." I turned to face the board, enjoying the confusion on their faces. "I'm here representing SM Industries. I believe we have some contracts to discuss." Uncle Harold's face reddened. "This is highly irregular. SM Industries' CEO handles all major negotiations personally." "Yes," I smiled, "she does." The room fell silent as understanding slowly dawned. Peter's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. My cousin Amanda dropped her pen. "That's impossible," Uncle Harold finally sputtered. "You run a small consulting firm. We checked when you applied here." I pulled up my own presentation on the screen. Actually, that consulting firm was just a front. SM Industries, Sarah Mason Industries, is my real company. Has been for the past 5 years. The first slide showed my company's true financials. Revenue 3 times that of Mason Technologies, offices in 12 countries, and a client list that read like a Fortune 500 directory. "No," Peter stood up, his face pale. "You can't be. We would have known, would you?" I raised an eyebrow. "The same way you knew about the $8 million you've been hiding through creative accounting." The blood drained from his face. Behind him, board members started whispering. "I've spent the last 5 years building SM Industries into what it is today," I continued calmly. "While you were all congratulating yourselves on keeping me out of the family business, I was becoming your largest client." Uncle Harold's hands gripped the table. "Why are you here now?" I clicked to the next slide, a detailed analysis of Mason Technologies' dependence on my contracts. "Because it's time to renegotiate our partnership. Though, after reviewing your company's real performance, I'm not sure there's anything worth salvaging." "You can't just walk away," Peter protested. "Those contracts are up for renewal next week," I smiled. "And as CEO of SM Industries, I have some concerns about Mason Technologies' stability." "Your stability, cousin." The boardroom erupted into chaos. Board members demanded explanations. Peter scrambled to defend his numbers. Uncle Harold sat in stunned silence, staring at the empire his rejected niece had built. I gathered my things, preparing to deliver the final blow. "I'm calling an emergency meeting tomorrow morning. My team will present our full audit of Mason Technologies' books. I suggest you all come prepared." "This is about revenge," Peter accused, his voice shaking. "Because we didn't give you a job." I paused at the door, thinking about that day 5 years ago, the humiliation, the dismissal, the way they'd laughed at my ambitions. "No, Peter, this is about business. Something you claimed I didn't understand." I checked my watch. "The meeting's at 9. Don't be late." Though punctuality never was your strong suit, was it? As I walked out, I heard the board members already turning on each other. Tomorrow would change everything for Mason Technologies. The company that had rejected me would learn exactly who they had underestimated. My assistant Michael met me at the elevator. "How did it go?" "Exactly as planned," I said, stepping in and pressing the button for the lobby. "Is everything ready for tomorrow?" "Full audit reports, documentation of Peter's financial misconduct, analysis of how dependent they are on our contracts," he said with a smile. "They won't know what hit them. I thought about Uncle Harold's face when he realized who really held the power now. About Peter's panic when his creative accounting was exposed. About all the years they'd spent believing I wasn't qualified to join their precious family business. Send me the latest draft of the termination notice, I told Michael. I want to review it before tomorrow. You're really going to cancel all the contracts? I smiled, thinking about the empire I'd built while they weren't watching. Tomorrow, they're going to learn what real business looks like, and who's really qualified to run it. The next morning, I arrived at Mason Technologies an hour early. The building's security guard, the same one who'd once been ordered to escort me out after my failed job interview, practically tripped over himself opening the door. "Welcome, Miss Mason, Ms. Morgan," he stammered. "The board is already gathering upstairs." "Early, for once," I murmured, stepping into the executive elevator. "Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more."